Hi, welcome back to the channel. Week 13, and Hurricane Helene was pretty kind to us.
We're going in! 3, 2, 1, go!
So today's Saturday. Once again, I've gone a whole week without videoing anything, but it was because, you know, most of the week was spent on the treadmill. Beginning of the week, actually, I did a little bit of stationary bike too because I was still having to recover various body parts from that 13 mile that I probably shouldn't have done the whole thing of. But the rest of the week was dealing with weather, and then of course it was a tropical storm, but by the time I got up here, but our only damage was this tree that was pretty old. Ended up falling. My husband's already chopped it up. We're gonna get it cleaned up. So, like I mentioned, I believe at the end of the last video, I do have an orthopedic doctor appointment for next week, which I guess would be week 14, but it's on a Thursday. Which I'm not super excited about getting, you know, a definitive answer that close to the next simulation, but I am just really hoping that what's going on with my foot, I know what's going on with my knee. My lateral meniscus is just getting inflamed with the hills and longer miles. My husband thinks, you know, there's always a possibility there could be a tear in there. But, you know, really we know what that is. My foot, I think, is tendonitis based on how it acts. But I'm going to go to the orthopedic, and then I'm going to have them, you know, do imaging and just make sure that there's not a stress fracture. I'm going to be very upset if it is a stress fracture, because that definitely means I have to stop running for a little bit of time, which is... But I told my running buddy Emily, I'm like, you know, if that's what it is, I would rather know now and still maybe be able to definitely still do Dopey. But my time goal for St. Jude might be done at that point. Really the only problem we had in our area up here in North Georgia was flooding. I know that there's a couple of, like, we live very close to the North Carolina border, and I know that there's a lot of roads in North Carolina that are closed. So my heart goes out to all the people in Florida, anyone watching this that lived in that the Bay Area. I know I've had some friends that had some flooding issues. So hopefully clean up and repair is quick for you guys. I know it's really probably never quick, but I haven't heard if there was any loss of life or anything. I hope there wasn't. This is really all we had on our road. There really wasn't that much wind that came through here. I guess being up here in the mountains, it kind of breaks up a little bit. A lot of times we'll just get these really skinny trees will end up falling, but I don't even know if really that even happens. So like I mentioned, a lot of this week was spent on the treadmill, but Monday I did stationary bike. Tuesday for Dopey 45, it was a little bit shorter, which ended up being okay because I ended up being the sweeper for the middle school cross-country races that afternoon. Which the slowest of a middle school team is usually basically just a walk for me. So that worked out well, but I got a little extra mileage that day. So because of that, Wednesday, I just did walking on the treadmill. And then Thursday, I did a tempo run on the treadmill, which went okay. My knee has not been bothering me since about Tuesday. I iced it a ton, and so that pain went away. But my foot has been pretty achy. See, my foot didn't bother me during the last long run, but it was the day after, in all those days, you know, coming, you know, after that, that I could really feel it. But we've just been icing the crud out of everything. I love those ice cups, like I mentioned, so. But anyway, so today's Saturday, and I'm walking Sadie right now. We're gonna go do just our easy 3 miles on the tread once again. Even though it's not raining right now, there's so much debris on my road that I don't want to run out here and end up twisting an ankle, because goodness knows I would do that.
Are you ready to tready?
So I apologize for treadmill background noise. Let's see, some other things of significance that happened this week. Our camping trip, of course, got postponed a week or so because of weather and work and everything. Rundisney released marathon course, as well as so kindly let us know that it's starting at 4:30 instead of 5. Hooray! Hopefully it won't feel like that big of a difference, but it might. And then they also released Wine and Dine Event Guide, which is like super early, but race courses for that. Excited for something different. I know people were like, oh, all those highway miles in the back half of the half, but you know, the 2 other Orlando weekends that I've done, they do such a good job of putting stuff out on those highways to keep it entertaining. I'm not worried about it at all. So it is time to close out week 13. I don't know if you can tell, but it is raining right now. I am so tired of rain at this point. We're actually not going to be closing out week 13 with Run the Mile You're In. The name of the chapter for week 13 was Celebration, and the chapter was fine, but just with everything that's happened, I actually wanted to share what I was going to be sharing with my FCA cross-country students the next time I get to see them, and it was about courage. I mentioned it, I'm pretty sure, that I was the sweeper at the middle school race, and a couple of our runners from our school were having a really hard time with this race, but I was so impressed how, as much as they were unhappy in that moment that they were in, it never, once occurred to either of, these two, it was really 2 of them, to just stop. I mean, they could totally just stop. I mean, a lot of times people, don't finish a race or whatever. And I was like, and I told them, I said, it takes courage to start these races, but it also takes courage to stick in there and finish. So that was what we're going to talk about, is courage. And I've also thought it ended up being appropriate that I wanted to do this instead of the book, just because of everything that's happened, just north of where I live. Like, not even 45 minutes from my house, there's places that have had to close down. Roads are closed, and, I think it was just this morning. Also, I'm doing this on a Monday. It was just technically week 14, but just this morning, they're just now being able to actually take roads into Asheville. And it's really, really sad to think about how incredibly terrifying that must be for the people that are there. I did see this morning that at least probably now 100 are known dead, but they really don't know because there's been no way to communicate really. So cell phone was down, and just the not being able to get into a place like Asheville, they really don't know how many people they're actually looking for. And I mean, it's absolutely crazy what has happened. But all the same, I know that there will be people that we're going to see immense courage from. That even though maybe they lost everything, they'll find a way to continue to have hope. And I find that absolutely amazing in people that, because I don't know if it were me in that position, if I would have that same attitude, you know, to lose everything but still have hope. I'd like to think I would, but I mean, you really don't know until you're actually in that position. But anyway, so I've heard several other YouTubers, and I believe this actually came from one of the race announcers. And I think I've heard them say this the couple of race weekends that I've been at, but they say courage is being afraid of something but doing it anyway. And I looked up the actual, Webster definition of courage: the ability to do something that frightens one, strength in the face of pain or grief. So really, I just want to share, I looked up a whole bunch of verses just about courage. And like I said, it takes courage to start this training. It takes courage to get yourself to that start line. Especially those of us doing Dopey, it takes courage to know that we got 4 early mornings, and hey, thanks for pushing that marathon start time to 4:30 instead of 5. It takes courage to stick in those races. It takes courage to finish the training. It takes courage to finish each one of those 4 races. And like I'm going to share with my kids, that same courage that we get from doing something like this, training for these miles, these races, we can take that same attitude and apply it to life, because it takes courage to follow Jesus. It takes courage to, like these people north of us, it's going to take courage to wake up every day not knowing, are you going to find out that your friend isn't with us anymore because you haven't been able to contact them? It's going to take courage to know that even though you've lost everything, that, it may take a while, but things can be rebuilt. Takes courage to have faith in humanity that people are coming to help. I know that I've seen trucks getting, trying to get in there as fast as they can with supplies. All of that takes courage. So these are some verses that I found. Joshua 1:9, be strong and of courage, do not be afraid nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. 1 Corinthians 15:58, so my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable, always work enthusiastically for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless. Psalm 27:1, the Lord is my light and my salvation, so why should I be afraid? The Lord is my fortress, protecting me from danger, so why should I tremble? Psalm 56:3-4, but when I am afraid, I will put my trust in you. I praise God for what he has promised. I trust in God, so why should I be afraid? What can mere mortals do to me? Isaiah 41:10, and this is God speaking. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Psalm 31:24, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all you who hope in the Lord. So if that's you, if that's, you're searching for courage to do something, whether it's training or something in life that you're facing, maybe one of those verses could be something you can hang on to. But I hope everyone is doing good and training is moving along. We're now, actually this was yesterday, which was Sunday. Everyone was so graciously posting that we're 100 days from Dopey, which today being Monday is now 99. Which is fantastic considering, and I'm saying that absolutely sarcastically, considering that here in a couple days I will be going to see the orthopedic. So if you're praying people, and I hope you are, you could send up a little prayer that he won't tell me to stop running, because that would be a little bit frustrating. But everything seems so superfluous. Is that the word? All these little things I'm dealing with compared to what other people are dealing with right now. So yeah. But anyway, so that will be a part of next week's training, is getting some answers from the doctor and getting ready, hopefully, for the next simulation. 15 miles next week. So be sure to give this video a like. Leave me a comment. What do you like to do on your recovery weeks, on these low mileage weeks? Do you just take it easy with your running? Do you do shorter but more intense workouts? What kind of stuff do you like to do? And be sure to subscribe. Like I said, I got a doctor's appointment coming up. I've got a little trip up north to help with hurricane damage coming up. Yeah, so, and hopefully we'll be getting in some miles and that it will go better than last time. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece, and I'll see you next week.
Sadie. Are you ready for the rain to go away? You ready for the rain to go away?